Good morning. It's Malcolm MacPherson in Kingston, Ontario, in my little video studio in my apartment. I'm continuing with this series on, it's sort of a road trip of what I do and my recovery from psychosis and schizophrenia. Today I'm feeling kind of down. Seems like pulling teeth to have people understand what schizophrenia is about, and even if they understand about voices, hallucinations, and delusions, or at least think they do, it's very different to experience them, and the path of climbing out of all that is complex. So while people and therapists and doctors can make suggestions, as Dr. Laurie Santos says in the Happiness Lab and in the Science of Well-Being course, the G.I. Joe theory says that knowing is less than half the battle. So just because somebody thinks they know how to get better, for the actual person suffering, the way out, or the way of reaching a resolution to what the person's suffering, is extremely complex. So just to say, well, I know how to solve voices is very different from actually solving them. And I don't have voices, hallucinations, or delusions anymore. And but I'm just down today that it seems to be a struggle to communicate almost anything about schizophrenia and have understanding and some sort of empathy and compassion, and no matter how hard you try, it just seems to be some days an uphill battle, and other days, like when I made the last two videos, I was very upbeat and happy. So I wanted to share with you today, when I am down like today, what coping strategies I have, and how I hope to get through the day, and I'm sure I'll feel better by the end of the day. So first of all, with my life skills, I was up about 5 o'clock, and I had at 5 a.m. Eastern time, and I had a really good sleep, and I've made my bed like I always do, and I was in the kitchen, and I've had some breakfast. I had a little bit of shreddies and a clementine, banana, a glass of orange juice, a couple of cups of coffee, and I've taken my meds for the day. So that's done, and I'm washed and dressed, and I'm basically ready to go, but I just feel a little bit down. And I have a whole bunch of empathy and love for you people, as well as myself, who try to get through the day with psychosis and schizophrenia spectrum disorders, and trying to recover it and try to present normal in public and generally be accepted. So that's kind of where I am. But I do have a lot of empathy and love and caring for our population, because that's why I would like to do this series of videos and share it with you, and hopefully also share it with the medical community. I'm not as interested in the general public, but we'll see where it all goes. So I've asked for your support and understanding, and I'll just savor that and feel that some of you will maybe pray for me when I'm not feeling well today. Also, I've already reached out to a close friend, Steve, in New Brunswick. He owns a overhead door company there, and he was on the truck on the way to a job, but we talked for 2 minutes, and I think I'm going to make a video to send he and his 3 children. They're not really children, they're young adults now, and they've all launched successfully, so he's done a good job with them as well as his wife. Yeah, the other thing that's new about psychiatry in the last few years is that there's a plethora of online material. Like, I've talked about the Science of Wellbeing course, as well as the Happiness Lab podcast, which is related to that course, and it's run by Dr. Laurie Santos and her team. And there's a place to post on the Happiness Lab, and it's a very empathetic and close group of people that watch that Happiness Lab. So when I finish doing the video, I'm going to post there that I'm feeling down today and explain what I've explained to you. And I know within an hour I'll probably have 5 or 6 supportive comments from all over the world, and it'll hopefully give me a little bit of an uplift, because there are people that they're either going through the course or have completed the course like I have. So the other thing I can do is reach out to Sarda. They have a place where you can post and just share my feelings there, and I'm sure people will respond. I also said originally in the videos that to feel well, it's important to do things that you like, and I like making these videos, so I'm starting to feel a little bit better now, but I still have a way to go. But you do things that you like, so I've made kind of a list of things that I would like to do today. Not so much work oriented, but I have a community garden which is right outside my front door, so I'm going to work a little bit in that. And I think, if I recall, I made a video about it a couple of days ago, and I may post that at the end of my commentary, and you can sort of see the garden and where I'll be working today. I saw physiotherapy yesterday connected with my interstitial lung disease and a bit of COPD, and she gave me some exercises to do, and they really help a lot, so I'll do those and a few other calisthenic kind of exercises. I may organize just a little bit in my apartment, and I'll continue to eat healthily today. I have lots of fresh fruit and vegetables, and I've already cooked a little bit of protein, so basically my meals are ready for the day, so I can just pick away at those where I'm not feeling too well. And if I have time and get inspired, cooking always makes me feel good, so maybe I could do a little bit of cooking. I have a few dishes to do, and I have to mop up the kitchen floor, but if it doesn't get done today, there's always tomorrow. The place is starting to look a lot better now. So that's about it. Just if you're going through down periods sometime, this little model that I've described to you generally works for me, and hopefully by noon or 1 or 2 o'clock I'll be a lot more upbeat and feeling better. These things happen, life's up and down. Even for people that don't have mental illnesses. So it's just something of life that we all have to cope with. So what I'll do after this is when I'm doing the post-production on the video, I'll add in the video in the garden, and I'll also was down at the Kingston City Market a week or two ago, and I took some nice pictures of vegetable and fruit stands, so I'll probably load that up to the video too for you to see and savor. And it also makes me feel good when I look back on that particular day at the city market and savor my experiences and have gratitude for the nice city that we live in, where we're surrounded by water and historic buildings and nice people too. So my thought for the day is there's always tomorrow, and if you're not feeling well, try to be good to yourself and accept the way you're feeling, and reach out to your friends and to others, and maybe reach out online if you know that you're going to get supportive responses. So with that, I was going to talk about my little DJ business, and I have several other little businesses that I've started, but I'll be able to pull that together next time for you. And I would have done it today, but I'm just not really into it today, but hopefully I will tomorrow or the next day. So I hope you have a good day, and if you're up today, that's great. And if you're feeling down like I am, try some of these strategies and reach out to others. God bless you all. So I'm continuing on September 6th, early in the morning, and I'm now down at the community garden, which is just outside my front door, and I'm panning. This is the compost, and I'm just walking and panning through the garden. A lot of this area is used for Martha's Table, which is our Meals for $1 program, and volunteers man these gardens. You can see we have a town water supply, and you can see it's close to the parking lot. There you can see the new balconies that have been added on the front part of my building, and the older balconies are over that way. But when you pan around slowly, you come back to where I am at the garden, and there's the water again, and here's our tool sheds, so we don't have to buy tools. And here's a little bench to sit on. A few people come down and smoke, which they don't like, in the garden. And here's our visitors parking, and more views of the plots. It's $25 a year to rent from the city a garden plot. It's near the end of the season, and people are harvesting and starting to dig up their plots, as you see these people have done. My garden's a little bit of a disaster, but I'm just learning, and it's only my second year, and yeah. This is a community garden plot, and here's my little plot, C1. I'm just in the process of digging it up and mowing it down. There's still a few miniature tomatoes, and you can see a little yellow pepper there. And here's my celery. It's gonna be harvested in about 3 or 4 weeks. And I have a good parsley crop there, which I use to make the Middle Eastern food, the tabbouleh. Here's a neighbor, and her garden's all finished, and she started to dig it up. And my friend Marlene is one of the coordinators, and she maintains this garden. And there's a little bench there to sit on, and you can see the road access. So that's, and there's more buildings all around. You can see it's still early in the morning. And there's another high-rise. And there's a view of my balcony, or my apartment building up there. Okay, well, we'll just wrap this up, and this is kind of one of my little hobbies. I'm in my second year. The first year I didn't know very much about gardening, and they told me the soil was good, but the reality was it wasn't. The NPK, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus were very low, and the pH was a 7. It's supposed to be a 5.5 to 6 for vegetables. So this year I upgraded the soil in the garden and added quite a bit of compost and sheep manure and black loam and soil, and I got that at a local independent nursery to support local independent business. So that's kind of my story. I need to now mow the garden down and just harvest the celery and parsley. The parsley's a perennial, so it'll come up next year, and that's really where I'm at with the garden, just to dig it up and prepare it for next year. If I'm ambitious, I could plant some tulip bulbs from Holland, which I can buy from somebody like Vesey Seeds in Prince Edward Island. So that's kind of where I'm at. There's my garden plot, and there's a lot of work to do there, but I guess I'm up for the challenge. Okay, have a good day, and maybe the sunshine's shining in your life today. And if not, try thinking of savoring a good experience that you've had in the past and trying to reflect and recall and remember the good times that you had with that particular experience.
Item 7?
I got one more.
We got 2. Like that garlic's like 3 garlics together.
Like $1 or something. Good.
Here's my messy desk. They say empty desk, empty mind. I don't know. Kind of pan around here. Of course, I'm doing this so I can focus in on my lunch, which was made about 4 or 5 days ago. Nothing will really go bad. There's some cut up zucchini from my garden, cucumber, red cabbage with a bit of Italian dressing. Usually I make my own, but I haven't had time right now. The tabbouleh I talked about with some labneh on top and a cracker, a slice of mozzarella cheese, and then beside the mozzarella cheese is homemade hummus with labneh on top, and it will go on the crackers. And then the fool is the brown mixture with labneh right beside the hummus and the cucumber and zucchini. So it's quite healthy. I think you get protein from the hummus and beans and from the cheese. Anyway, some people go, oh, this tastes really good, but it looks awful. Ooh. And other people say, wow, is that ever neat? So you get all sorts of perspectives. The worst comment when I made something like hummus and fool was, oh, mummy, it looks like Trixie's throw up. So you never know what you're going to get. Anyway, I like it. I think it's quite good. Good morning. It's Thursday the 24th of September. And earlier today I was feeling a lot better than yesterday after the action and strategies that I took to feel better, like savoring good things that I'd done. And I showed you a video of the community garden that I was working in, and I'm going back out today. And I also showed you an activity that I did in walking around the Kingston City Market and looking at all the fruits and vegetables, which of course I've emphasized is good for our health. So early this morning I felt about 70% better, and then it just sort of clicked in about an hour ago that tomorrow's the Kingston Writers Fest, which I'm participating in. I have a seminar for 2 hours tomorrow and one on Saturday for 2 hours, and I am in a creative writing class, so it's suspended right now because of COVID, but basically I am keeping up my work, and I'll be participating in the Writers Fest. But what really made me feel well, and it just clicked in my brain, and now I feel basically 100% again, was that I'm going camping on Sunday for 3 or 4 days, weather permitting, to Sandbanks Provincial Park, which is about an hour's drive west of here, and I'm pretty well ready to go. It's just a matter of throwing a few things together. Our food's more or less organized and that, so that gave me a real cognitive boost, and my brain plasticity is good today. My cognitive functioning and my psychological flexibility, I feel I can kind of roll with the punches, and I had a good day on the options market yesterday, and I'm looking at another good day or two today and tomorrow, but one never knows what the markets will do. I guess the old adage is they'll either go up or go down. So basically I worked my way out of feeling down yesterday. Had a bit of a hard knock, but I reframed and accepted the way I felt, and I changed my thinking a little bit differently, and then I realized I had optimistic things coming up in my life, like camping and the Writers' Fest. So now I feel really well, and I've taken my meds this morning. I had to dish them out in this vial like I explained to you the other day, because it was empty, and I did that, and I organized my nighttime meds, and I'm all washed and dressed, and I just have to have a little bit of breakfast, and I'll do a few housekeeping chores. My kitchen's a lot cleaner from yesterday, and my bathroom's a lot cleaner, and I'm gradually getting reorganized and repurposed. Took a few things to the metal recyclers yesterday. It's basically all good. So things are moving forward today. I hope that you're able to apply some of what I'm showing you that works for me in your own lives. And while when you're first sick, you have to ask for help and reach out to doctors and caregivers. But when you're further along like I am, hopefully you can solve a lot of your own problems through life skills and the lived experiences that you've learned from social workers and occupational therapists. It's important, I think, to take charge of your recovery and take charge of your life. Had I gone to my family doctor and said I was feeling down, there's a good chance she would have increased my Cipralex, and that's not really the answer, you know. A lot of it has to do with our brain functioning and the brain chemicals that we produce, and they can be stimulated by the positive activities that I shared with you, well, basically throughout this video series so far. So yeah, medication, I've stressed, is important, but a low dose of medication, enough to keep you stable, that's my experience. That's the way I feel about it. But other than that, the talk therapy and the life skills that you learn through talk therapy and working with your medical team in a proactive way will aid in your recovery. So to leave you with a message, I would say basically follow what's recommended for your recovery from your healthcare team, and that's what I've done over the last 40 years. Sometimes you don't agree with everything, but on the whole, they're well-meaning and have a lot of skill and talent to help people like us. So have a good day, and if you're not feeling well, try some of the suggestions that I've offered in these first 3 videos.